Do my beats suck? Do you just want to cut them off? Sometimes producers don't get it. We make 15-minute beats because we love making beats, and a rapper hears it and thinks, I don't have that many verses, I can't spit that many bars. So today I'm going to show you how to end a song and start a song the right way wherever you need it to end. We're using FL Studio today, but if you want to use any DAW, Logic, Pro Tools, this is totally applicable to you. The main thing that you need to know is automation. So if you need to know automation in Logic, go YouTube that. I'm an FL Studio guy. I can show you exactly what I do in FL Studio, and I think you can apply that to what you need to do in any DAW. I think it should be pretty easy to kind of move around between programs. So we're gonna hop into the computer here. I'm gonna show you how I would end a song in 3 different examples. Really neat, interesting ways to end songs, which I'm hearing on a lot of records these days. So let's hop into it. First things first, we want to grab a beat, preferably one with some lyrics, a hook or something. Fortunately for me, I've been working with my homie Thrilla. He's been doing some crazy hooks for me recently. www.mybestfriendjacob, head on over to the website, grab some free beats with hooks, including the one that we are going to use today. So I'm just going to download this. All right, so the beat and the song is called Are You Down? When you grab a beat with a hook, you usually get the beat. You also get the solo version of a hook, so you can do mixing yourself, and then you usually get a file with both already mixed for you, so you can kind of you can either hop right on it if you think it's mixed well, or you can mix it yourself. So then the first thing we want to do is check the tempo. On my website in particular, and on most BeatStar websites, we say the tempo. So we know the tempo of this track, it's 126. That's where we always want to start, is just make sure your project file is matched up with the BPM of your song. So if we just take a quick listen. All right, so now that we know that this is matched to the tempo, 126 of the project file, I'm just going to start right at the end, and I'm going to pretend that we wanted to kind of get out of this song a bit quicker. So let's just take a listen to how the hook actually is.
Don't worry about a thing, just leave it up to me. Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up to me.
Let's just say, we're getting right around the 3-minute mark. We're actually not that far away from 3:30. So 3 minutes, let's just say we wanted to end the song here. There's a couple different ways you can do this. The first way, and I actually use this quite a bit, is use a filter. So what I mean by that, I'm going to show you right now. The first thing you want to do is you want to take your beat and you want to put it on a track. So in any DAW that you're using, you want to make sure that it's on a channel, or a track is what they call it in FL Studio. If you want to get it to a free track within FL Studio, you literally can just hit track and boom, it put it on track number 1. So now that it's on a track, we can affect it, and we can affect it multiple ways. And I'm just going to give you a quick little tidbits of what I like to do when somebody reaches out to me and they want to end a song quickly. The first way and the easiest way, and it sounds pretty good, especially if you end up performing the songs live, is you can simply go to the Paramedic EQ. So an EQ, this is a stock plugin, and this would be in any DAW. Put an EQ on. There's multiple ways that you can kind of make this work. I know, for instance, for this, I only want to get rid of the high end. I don't need all these other buttons. And in FL Studio, if I just click this button twice, there's a preset that just makes it so all the middle buttons are gone. So it's just the low end and the high end. But for the sake of this tutorial, if you're in any EQ, I'm sure you could probably just quickly right click and delete any of these. But I know in FL Studio, if I just hit twice, that I can go over, and if I play with these, it gets rid of the high end and the low end. And this is a really easy, quick way to kind of end a song. So what we want to do is we want to right click and we want to hit create automation. So basically what we're doing is at the end of the song, we're going to get rid of the song. So it's filtered out and all you hear is the bass. It's kind of like that Drake effect that you hear on most tunes. So let's just imagine that we just want to, at 3 minutes, we said we wanted to end this. So we want to do.
Don't worry about a thing, just leave it up to me. Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up to me. Don't worry.
So for right now, I'm just going to chop this off because that's where we want to end. I'll just get rid of those. The chopping tool, if you need it, is right there. All right, so all I want to do is get rid of some of this high end and we'll do that right before we come in here. So basically, if you click, you just right click, you're going to put in a little point there. And if I right click here, I'll put in a point, and I can basically drag this wherever I want. Now, if I actually go into the plugin, I'm just going to mute all this. I can actually see it making the plugin move. That's what automation does. So watch. Boom. See, I'm not doing that. Usually, like, I could do that with my mouse, but I'm not. I automated that, so the computer is doing that automation, and that's all automation is. And it's a magical thing. Once you, it can be a hectic thing, but it can really improve and step up your game. So you can change the way that, you know, the automation, if you want to go really quick, for instance. Now watch this. Boom, it just shoots down, whereas if I wanted to go really slow, I could bend that up so it's like a really slow moving thing like this. As you can see, boom, and it gets faster at the end. I don't know what's going to sound the best, but we're going to take a listen.
Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up to me.
So that's how you could do. So I'm just going to get rid of this. Looks so good. And I come in here and find where the hook actually ends, which is
leave it up to me.
And I'm going to actually use automation to kind of extend this. And this is something that I did in the Tarvis Scott delay tutorial. So again, if we want to put this on a free track, we can just hit track. It's going to go to track 2. And then what we want to do is we're going to do the same sort of thing that we did with the Tarvis Scott delay, is we're going to put some delay to kind of echo it out. So we want to go, this is again, stock plugin, delay 3. I'm just gonna, we'll take a quick listen so I can just show you. And this is why you want to go to 126, because if this was off, I can actually just show you. Let's just say if this was at 140, you'll hear how messed up this sounds.
Don't worry about it. Just leave it up to me.
It's offbeat. It's totally offbeat. So that's why you want to, is a good example of why you want to make sure that it's the same tempo of the beat is the same tempo of your project file, so that the delays are on the exact same part. Because when you listen, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That was that delay. As you can see, when I'm moving it, it says 4 up here, so that we know it's on 4. You could put it on 2 if you want, so it goes 1, 2, 1, 2. I think 1, 2, 3, 4 is a lot smoother with the tempo and stuff. As I showed you in the Tarvis Scott delay, this cut effect can make it sound really cool. So let's take a listen when you play around with the cut effect. Sounds really muffled, kind of the same way that we made the beat really muffled. And the last thing we can do, right now it's in mono. If we want to put it to stereo, we just move the offset and we take one more listen. And if you're watching this with headphones on, you'll see that it sounds a lot wider right now. So the last thing we want to do is we want to automate this. The way that we can automate it, there's a couple of different ways. You could mute it. You could actually turn it on and off that way. You could come in here and you could go wet. So this is the output. So wet, if it's there, nothing's happening. If it's all the way there, as you can see, it just kind of popped back on. I'm gonna do this. So we'll right click here, create automation. We just created an automation, so that's going to be on and off for this switch. So when it's all the way at the bottom, that means it's off. When it's all the way at the top, it means it's on. So right now it's on. We want to turn that off, so we just drag it all the way down. And let's do it so that it comes right up at the end, so that now we go. Just take this all the way down. All right, let's take a listen.
Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up to me.
Great. So see how easy that was to kind of make that stop, and like look how much there's that much more of a hook plus beat. So it was real easy for us to stop this at the 3-minute mark. And what we could have even done, if rather than kind of letting it go, we can use the automation. So let's just, I'm right clicking here to put in these points, and let's just slowly, so it goes up and on and it comes back down. So let's take a listen.
Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up to me.
So that's one way you can end a song. I'm going to show you a couple other ways, put some brand new effects. We're going to leave it so it stops exactly where it was in the other one. A really cool way too is the same sort of effect that we use with the hook. You can actually use those on your beats as well too. So again, I'm going to put this on a brand new track, because right now this is from our old effects. I'll just hit track and put it to track 5, which is a brand new one. If we want, we can hit delay. And the same sort of thing. I think we'll leave it at 4 because that's a nice 1, 2, 3, 4 is a nice a slow way to move. We're going to fool around with some of the cutoff here, and then we're going to right click, create automation with the wet. All right, so here's our delay. I'm going to mute the hook right now. I'm going to turn this down. At the bottom means it's all the way off, and when it's all the way to the top. Actually, let's just take a listen to the beat, how it is. So maybe right there we want to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, snap, and we want it to kind of delay out. So what you can do is, again, right click to put these points in, put it right there, and we're going to turn it all the way up. And right when that hits is when it'll come in and it'll just echo off. So it'll go. So it'll do something like this. Cool. So that's like another little cool way. So now when you have it with the hook, and this is one too, we could again do the opposite of this. If you wanted to take the hook, put that on, you could right click, paramedic EQ like we just did. I know in FL, just push 2 over. It's going to come up here. If you right click, create automation, you're going to do the same thing we did with the beat in the previous one, but we're going to use it on the voice. We're just reversing the effects here. So we'll just kind of, that way it kind of just slowly drifts out. So let's take a listen.
Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up.
So let's just take a listen with and you can see the effect actually happening here.
Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up.
So that's another cool way that you can make a song stop. The last one I'm going to do here, again, another stock plugin, and it is just the pitch down effect sounding like the record player going off. So again, double click on this vocal track. I'm going to hit track, so it automatically puts it to a brand new track. So we're on track 7 here. In FL Studio, there's a program called Gross Beat. So this is an easy way to kind of do a tape stop, so it sounds like a vinyl record is turning off. So on the channel, we want to put Gross Beat on. If you just click the presets here on anything in FL, it'll show you the presets. I believe it's in here. Yeah, so it's vinyl stop. So as you can see, it's kind of like there's a vinyl off and there's a vinyl stop. Vinyl stop moves a bit quicker than the vinyl off. We'll use the vinyl off right now. So basically, we only want this to happen on his voice at the very end. So what we can do is we can, again, do some automation. So there's multiple things you could automate here. You can turn this off in here. I'm just trying my best to show you different ways. Let's just say if we wanted to automate it here, this is the effect. If it's at 100%, that means it's on. If it's down here, it means it's off. Same thing with this on-off button here. So I'm just going to automate this on-off. So it turns up like that right at the end so that the effect comes on. So I'll just turn it all the way off right now. I'll right-click, create automation. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to turn it on just at the end here. I believe it should actually, I'm just going to stop it there. All right, so I am going to hit play and you'll hear at the end of the song on his vocals, just on his vocals, because we have the beat kind of chopping out there. So let's take a listen.
Just leave it up to me. Just leave it up.
Cool. So another quick way that you could just stop the song. All different ways, and there's multiple ways that you can do this. But don't ever feel like, purchasing a beat, grabbing it for free, wherever you get your beats, you can manipulate things. Another thing too is like we could be using all these effects. They don't have to wait to the end. You could be using them, and maybe in another tutorial I'll show you how you can use these same effects and kind of move the hooks around and stuff like that. So there's a really quick way for you to end any song. So there you go, guys. If you hate my beats and you just want them to stop after 30 seconds, you now know how to do that. Hopefully you don't. I try my best to kind of format them around all the hit songs today. But it's a great point. It's like music is so subjective, and if you have an idea of how you want your song to sound, like don't feel like you're in a box. If you grab a beat, whether it's from me or from anybody else from any place, that's the beauty of music. That's the beauty of music is you can be creative, you can think outside of that box, and you can take anything that's formatted and might be 3 minutes, and you can make it 10 minutes, or if something's 10 minutes, you can go the opposite and make it 3 minutes. So there's so many different options you can do with just like one MP3 file. So it's pretty remarkable like what you can do in Pro Tools, Logic, all these things. I think everything that I showed you today, they're all stock plugins in FL Studio, and I think all of the things are applicable in any of the other programs. You just have to know automation. So if you YouTube automation, if you're in Logic, you'll figure it out. Apply those same tactics with the paramedic EQs and the tape stops and everything, and cut off a song wherever you want. Hey, if you stuck around this far, why not grab some free beats? Hit the link in the description below and I'll send you 5 of my best-selling beats directly to your email for free. Plus, if you join that mailing list, I'm going to be sharing with you a bunch of information that'll be helpful in your career, because that's what best friends are for.